Babakuna ka ba? 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 Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. Vaccination. Babakuna ka ba? 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 Paturok, paturok, paturok.
If I make it to the president, I will do just what I do.
We shall continue to assert and pursue an independent foreign policy.
I hereby declare Marawi City liberated.
All should have democracy without exception.
You are watching the multi-awarded Radio Bandido TV on Channel 224 Sky Cable and TV Plus boxes. Simulcast on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. Informing, advising, and entertaining the Filipinos and OFWs around the world. Streaming live on www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 a.m. or on YouTube, channel RJAM News. To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners, you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News. Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
Good morning, DZRJ 810 AM proudly brings you Good Job Philippines with Barbie Atienza. Enjoy a recap of the week's good news and developments, highlighting the great men and women behind them. And now, here is your host, Barbie Atienza.
Well, good morning, Metro Manila. Good morning, Philippines. On a wet, very wet Saturday morning, my name is Barbie Atienza, and I'll be your host right here on Good Job Philippines, where you get all good news all the time, together with my partner, Mr. Alan Visitacion. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, Sir Barbie. And of course, it's still Saturday, and it's not been, it's Saturday, and it's still your birthday. Happy birthday there, Mr. Barbie Atienza. maligayang kaarawan sa'yo. At talaga namang...
Mabilis ma-accelerate yung age ko niyan eh. Birthday ko nga, birthday ko lang yun.
Ganun lang talaga karami ang nagmamahal sa'yo. At kita mo naman,
salamat.
Right after your birthday, niyog-yog at sinayaw tayo kaninang umaga. Yan ang gumising sa akin at exactly 4:49 ang ng umaga tayo niyog.
Oo nga. Well, I'll have to be honest that it didn't wake me up. I guess I was so tired, so tulog na tulog ako. Pero the whole household told me about it this morning when I woke up. At shout out ko lang kay parang Ariel Castro dyan sa ating studio ha. Hindi kita nakakalimutan. Pagka balik natin, sige. Sabi niya, beke naman. Tama tayo sa celebration.
Oo.
Kayo ba dyan, nagpabakuna na? Importante yan ha.
Yan, dapat talaga, tanda mo, sinasabi ni Secretary, celebration is vaccination. Kaya kailangan, kailangan natin yan. At
muli vaccinated na raw sila.
Oo, at praise the Lord. At huwag niyo pong kakalimutan, kami po ni Sir Barbie at ang buong himpilan ng Good Job Philippines kasama ang DZRJ Newsroom ay bumabati at nagdarasal na sana po ang ating mga kababayan ay ligtas lahat. Pangalauna, sa earthquake na naramdaman natin kanina, kasama po namin sa pagbati ngayong umaga si Rina Trinidad, ang aming napakagandang co-host na babae. At binabati ko po lahat ng magandang umaga ang mga kasamahan namin dito sa Parañaque na nasa evacuation center po. Ngayon na lumikas na.
Sino si Rina Trinidad?
Si Rhea. Tolentino. I'm sorry. Bossing, pasensya ka na, Rina Tolentino. Rina, belated happy birthday. Nami-miss na kita. Alam kong masiglang-masigla ang araw mo ngayon at marahil tapos ka ng manalangin. Ngunit kagaya po ang panawagan ng ating mga kababayan sa Parañaque, yung mga nasa low area po, kung napapansin nyo, tumataas na ang tubig ninyo. Lumikas na po kayo, pumunta na po kayo sa ating mga evacuation center. Pinakamalapit po ang simbahan at ang mga basketball court po. Huwag nyo nang hintayin, puntahan kayo ng mga tanod natin dyan. At lagi pong pinapaalala sa atin ni Sir Barbie, sa gitna nito, huwag yung kakalimutan. Pag may mga disaster na ganito, huwag nyo pong kakalimutan yung tinatawag natin in case of emergency bag.
Okay.
Yan po ang pinopromote natin dito. Back to you, Barbie.
Quickly ang ating latest report from the Department of Health. This was as of yesterday afternoon. 1,537,097 confirmed cases of COVID. Ang bagong kaso kahapon was 6,845. Medyo tumataas na naman kasi nga may Delta variant. Kaya nga ang Metro Manila is back to GCQ with restrictions, no? Kaya yung mga lalabas, kung pwede, masama naman ang panahon, huwag na kayo lumabas. Pero kung kailangan talaga lumabas, well, ayun, yung mga restaurants, indoors, 20% of capacity. Pag alfresco, labas, 50%. Pero yung mga bata, 18 and below, hindi pa po pwede. There are now 26,891 death incidents in the country. Pero ang recovery natin, 1,455,137. But here's the good news. Yesterday, as of yesterday's report, yung new death cases, 0. 0 kapon. Walang nadagdag doon sa bilang ng mga nasawi. Kaya, well, that's maganda to eh. Sa gitna ng mga problema at lahat, medyo nakakatanggap naman tayo paminsan-minsan ng konting magandang balita. Kagaya nung kagabi, kaya kaninang umaga, madaling araw, nagkaroon nga ng earthquake. Pero kagabi naman, well, finally, nag-umpisa na yung Olympics sa Tokyo, Japan. Medyo talagang tuloy ang laban at nandoon yung ating mga atleta. Tapos dadagdag ko rin, Alan, yung ating latest report from the Department of Science and Technology. Ayan, yung ating yung earthquake nga pala kanina. At saka meron tayong report kanina para doon sa naman sa mga inundated roads, yung mga hindi madaan ng kalye. Kaya karamihan, marami po sa mga lansangan dito sa Metro Manila ay impassable na po. Kaya medyo ingat-ingat. Ito yung latest report na natanggap natin as of this morning at 5 o'clock. Medyo hindi pa masyado nagbabago yung kalagayan. Kaya medyo updated to. Sa Pasay area, hanggang tuhod, not possible to light vehicles, particularly sa barangay 177, 180 at 181. Quezon Avenue area, mataas lampas tuhod din. Depende siguro kung sino nagsusukat, no? Pag matangkad, pag matangkad hanggang tuhod. Pag hindi matangkad, lampas tao na.
Yeah.
Di ba? Oo nga. Anyway, sabi nito, knee level to waist deep. Not possible to light vehicles ang Quezon Avenue. Barangay Tatalon, Araneta, Victory, Araneta, Kilantad, Santo Domingo, Barangay Hall, Barangay Bagong Lipunan, Liberty Street, 3rd and 4th Avenue, South Road. Yan, di madadaanan. Maseda to Dapitan. Sa Mandaluyong, hanggang tuhod din. High Extension, Barangay Old Saniga, G. Vicasio. Valenzuela area hanggang tuhod din. Not possible ang Vicente Reales. Dito naman sa Maynila, gutter deep. Ang tubig, not advisable to pass through. Iwasan po. Vito Cruz LRT, Quirino Taft, UN Avenue Taft, both directions. Padre Faura, Taft, both bounds. Taft, NBI, Malvar Adriatico, Pedro Hill, Taft, PGH, Calao, Turuas Boulevard, Nakpil, Quirino, Leverisa, Abad Santos, Corner Solis, Rizal Avenue, Tambunting. Yan, sa mga Santa Cruz area, hindi rin po pwedeng daanan. Pasig, 2 to 8 inches, gutter deep. Sa Barangay Rosario, San Joaquin, Pinagbuhatan at Manggahan. Marikina River is at 16.1 meters as of 5 a.m. this morning. Yan. So, medyo may kataasan po yung mga baha, yung tubig, baha. Kaya medyo iwasan na po natin kung hindi talagang importante, manatili lang tayo dyan sa bahay. Bukod sa it's a safe thing to do as far as the virus is concerned, the COVID-19 pandemic is concerned, but also with you, no, on the road, lalo na yung mga may sasakyan, baka tumirik lang po yung sasakyan, kaya iwasan na lang natin, di ba? Partner?
Yes, totoo yan, ano? At talagang kung hindi po, bago kayo lumabas ng bahay ngayong mga oras na ito, mag-isip po kayo ng 10 times. Isip muna. At doon sa mga nagtataka kung saan pa ho kami makikita ni Sir Barbie ngayon ng ating birthday celebrant. Ngayon po, live na live kami sa inyong mga radyo sa 810 AM kilohertz po. Naririnig nyo kami dyan sa AM band. At kung gusto nyo naman po kaming mapanood sa inyong mga malalaking television, maliit man o malaki, kami po ay live sa Sky Cable Channel 224. At syempre, kung nasa inyong mga smartphone, nandiyan din po kami. Diyan po kami sa Facebook Live sa DZRJ 810 Voice of the Philippines. At syempre, at hindi kami nawala kahit kailanman sa mga DG boxes.
Siguraduhin nyo lang, hindi pa lumulubog yung inyong mga television at saka yung inyong mga laptop, di ba?
Yan, siguraduhin yung magic box ipatong nyo po sa taas ng TV.
Correct. Pero tuloy tayo, no? Kahit na umuulan, meron tayo sa kalagitnaan ng pandemic. I always say, you always find the blessings around you, have an attitude of gratitude, and be thankful for wherever, whatever, however we are situated in. Ang makakakontrol lang sa ating mga kalagayan yung sarili natin.
Tama.
How we look at things, how we behave during these situations. At siyempre, alam mo, lalo na yung mga co-workers natin, talagang apektado nito mga sitwasyon na to. Now, ang question talaga dyan, how do we keep them motivated? How do we keep their morale high? How do we keep them or to maintain their productivity? Yan isang challenge, Alan, doon sa mga tinatawag na special species ng mga katauhan.
Yan.
Lalo na sa mga kumpanya. Ang tawag sila sa kanila mga HR managers.
Yan.
O mga people managers. O yan ang pag-usapan natin. Sa gitna nitong pandemyang to, how do we keep people on higher ground? Di ba? Yung mataas ang moral, mataas ang motivation, tuloy-tuloy sa laban. Pag-usapan natin yan. Magbe-break tayo. Pagbabalik natin, meron tayong makakasama. Natatalakayin natin yan. Keeping people on higher ground. Alright? So don't you go away. We will be right back right here on DZRJ 8:10 AM and Radio Bandido TV. Kami po ni Alan, kasama ninyo hanggang tanghali. Huwag po kayo alis. This is Good Job, Philippines.
Filipino heroism, ingenuity, marksmanship, tatak saludo kami. Isang pagkilala sa galing ng mamamayang Pilipino, hatid ay serbisyo saan man sa mundo. Natatanging kwento ng mga overseas Filipino workers, OFW advocates, legal luminaries, educators, scientists, and inventors. Mga piling Pilipinong patuloy na nag-aangat sa pagtingin at pagkilala ng sambayanan. Tatak saludo kami. Pinangungunahan ni Johnny Gomez. Tatak saludo kami. Tuwing araw ng Sabado mula alas 2 hanggang alas 3 ng hapon. Mapapanood at mapapakinggan sa DZRJ 8:10 AM sa Radio Bandido TV, Sky Cable Channel 224, TV Plus boxes at free to air. Simulcast live sa www.facebook.com/DZRJ 8:10 AM at sa YouTube RJ AM News.
Enlightened with inspiring stories. Interesting biblical features. And insightful interviews with the pillars of our Catholic faith. Power to Unite with Elvira.
now return to Good Job Philippines on DZRJ 810 AM. Here is your host, Barbie Atienza.
We're all back right here on Good Job Philippines, and we're on till 12 noon today, together with my partner, Alan Visitacion. At i-welcome na natin kagad sa ating programa ang ating panauhin, ang aking kapatid. Kapatid sa profesyon sa Human Resource Management or People Management. From the People Management Association of the Philippines, ang Vice President at ang Chairperson ng Annual Conference. Pag-usapan natin kung ano yung Annual Conference na yan na malapit na mangyari. Welcome to the show, Ellen Pulido. Good morning,
Good morning.
Ellen.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, kapatid Barbie. Hindi lang tayo magkapatid sa HR, magkapatid din tayo sa industriya. Pare-pareho tayong taga-media, Alan.
Industry.
Oo, pare-pareho tayong mga nasa larangan ng ng pagbabalita. Broadcast. Yan.
Sabi ko nga kanina bago tayo mag-on-air ang sarap ng ngiti mo, parang hindi bumabagyo no?
Kailangan ngumiti kahit bumabagyo. Alam mo yun, madaling araw, magigising ka, umaalog ka dahil lumilindol na pala. Yung parang katutulog mo lang, bigla kang maaalimpuhatan. Anong nangyayari?
Sorry ako, hindi ako nagising. Tulog na tulog ako Alan!
Mababaw akong matulog, kaya mabilis akong, akala ko ano yun.
Bago tayo magtalakay ng ating subject matter with Miss Ellen. Alan, batiin muna natin yung mga nakakasama natin sa Facebook, lalo na.
Yes, of course. We'd like to greet all our friends and all our audiences na nakikinig ngayon at sumusubaybay sa amin dahil sila yung mga suki na at napakaganda ng ating guest ngayon at buong topic ng ating guest. Binabati ko po si Mary Ann Maniquez ng America na nakikinig sa atin. Edward Yap, of course, ng US Postal. At of course, ang ating mga kapatid dito sa ating bayan, si Miss Winnie Cheng. Miss na kita, Winnie. Maraming salamat at kasama ka namin.
Mister yata yan.
Mister.
Si Winnie.
Si Winnie at si Angelo Redaha. Kakalampas na ng birthday nito. July boy din to. And Angelo, magandang umaga sa iyo. And of course, si Rosalinda Iwata. Yan, nakadikit lang yan dito sa kalye namin, sa bahay namin. Magandang umaga sa iyo, Miss Rosalinda Iwata.
Meron pang kasama natin sa Facebook si John Lloyd too.
Of course, John Lloyd.
Hindi ko alam kung si John Lloyd Cruz yan, pero
yan ang sumusubaybay lagi yan kay Rina Tolentino at bumabati pa rin ng happy birthday. Sorry, wala si Rina ngayon, pero on the air tayo.
Next Saturday, nandito yan.
And of course,
nabanggit mo kanina birthday, babati ko na rin yung aking apo na nag-celebrate ng kanyang birthday. Ngayon yung kanyang virtual birthday party on Zoom. Si Migoy, si Miguel.
Of course.
Sadang.
Dating co-host. Co-host natin yan.
Hindi. Yung isa yun. Yung isang apo ko yun.
Of course.
Babatiin ko rin yung mga kapatid ko sa Mandaluyong, sa mga turing. Lalo na yung aking kapatid na MacGyver, si Kuya Balti. Siya yung nag-aayos sa mga may pumutok doon na tubo doon. Siya nag-ayos.
Talaga?
Wow. Gamit lang daw niya, kandila.
Uy.
remedyo dahil wala pang tubero, siya muna gumamit daw siya ng kandila at tinigil niya yung agos ng tubig.
Of course, kasama na naman natin ngayon si Arnel Cortez.
Arnel!
JC Cordova ng Ayala Alabang nakikinig sa atin ngayon sa radyo na sa kanyang sasakyan. Maraming salamat, Mr. Cordova, for listening to us kahit dyan sa radyo mo. Alam ko nagtitipid ka sa data mo. Laki-laki ng bahay mo, nagtitipid ka. Anyway.
Alright. Balikan natin si Miss Ellen Pulido. Ellen, ngayon nasa gitna tayo ng pandemya. Tapos ngayon complicated with this weather disturbance. Pero pandemic has been here for more than a year. I think almost 16 months already. And kamusta naman ang kalagayan? Tayo kasi nasa gitna ng pamamahala ng pinakamahalagang yaman or the most valuable wealth. I don't call it even resource. I call them the wealth of organizations and communities. These are people. Nothing is more important than people. Now, our challenge is keep them highly motivated, keep them in higher ground. Sabi nga natin, keeping people on higher ground. Productivity will be, how have you been dealing with this for the last several months, many months.
Tama ka doon, kapatid. Pero bago ko pala sagutin yan, kung napansin mo, medyo tinapatan ko yung orange mo. Kasi birthday mo kahapon. Happy birthday. At kahit maulan, sana naging masaya ang birthday mo. I hope it was fun and happy for you. Anyway, last year kasi, when the lockdown was set and the pandemic was here, it was a survival mode talaga for everybody. A lot of industries were badly affected by the pandemic. A lot of businesses closed. A lot of workers have been displaced. Lahat tayo have to learn how to survive. Survival talaga yon, sobra. As in, I've known some people na dati-dati, klase sila, they have to close their businesses, they have to learn to do online selling. Imagine a flight attendant na posturang-postura before, di ba? Well-dressed, no? For the job. And then, selling baked sushi, no? Mag-aalok sa'yo, ma'am, you buy my baked sushi, it's best.
Yung ube pandesal.
Oo, ube cheese pandesal. Ang daming na-develop na. You know why? Kasi I think, no, for Filipinos, I'm gonna speak on behalf of the Filipinos. Likas tayo na marunong mag-survive resilient tayo. Pero if you look at it, we've been surviving for last year. We've been trying to do things in order to survive. Tayong mga nasa media, like ako, I go around a lot. I've been out onto the streets most of the time. And I've seen poverty and I've seen hunger. And you know, dun lang sa may road going to our station, you see a lot of people teaming on the road. Hindi sila, alam mong hindi sila dating ganun. Parang, it got me into thinking na, gagawin natin? Ganito lang ba tayo? Survival na lang ba? We have to relearn things, we have to reskill, we have to upskill. Kung dati-rate, we used to have a mindset of doing things brick and mortar. Ano mo yun? Yung isa-isa. Ngayon parang dati pinag-uusapan lang natin yung Industrial Revolution 4.0, the AI, technology is here, the digital platform is here. Parang all of a sudden, we were all caught flat-footed. Kailangan mong pag-aralan, dali-dali. Overnight, you have to learn to be tech-savvy. You have to go digital. Hindi
lahat ng adjustment.
Yung adjustment mo, fast-paced. So, being resilient is one, but agility is another. You know, the speed at which you have to do things immediately in order to survive, in order to further.
Kasama rin dyan, Ellen, yung mga hakbang, yung mga measures that companies like ours have to do. For example, sabi nga natin, ang isang tumama sa atin, maraming na-displace, nawala ng trabaho. Pero how do you deal with that? Kagaya niya, kunyari, business-wise, our owners of the companies will say, okay, HR, lugi tayo talaga, mabagal ang business, kailangan magtanggal tayo ng 25% ng ating payroll, therefore, kailangan 1/4 ng ating manpower, i-retrench natin. Paano reaction dapat dyan ng HR?
Alam mo, ako, I'm gonna share this. This is born out of experience. Alam niyo naman na nasunugan kami. So from the fire to the pandemic, grabe kami. Parang
yung Manila Broadcasting. Yes. Manila Broadcasting Corporation.
Kung hindi pa namin alam yung term na survival, ewan ko na. No? From the fire to the pandemic. You know what? At the onset of the
bago
pandemic.
Bago pa mag-pandemic yun.
Nakapag-warm up na kayo.
Na-prep na kami doon. Diba? Sanay na kami. You know what? This is a test of the HR's ability to come up with ways and means to deal with the situation. Ako, tingin ko yung HR, hindi lang siya yung HR na dapat na nasa opisina doing admin work. But you know, you have to be a strategic partner of your organization. When I say strategic, you have to come up with a lot of interventions, a lot of ways and means. Alam natin, revenue has been impacted for most of the organization.
Creative ka, no?
Ay, oo. Kailangan marami kang innovative ideas.
Yung wala sa libro.
Wala yan sa libro. Take it from me. Wala sa libro. Unang-una. Sige, Alan.
But sometimes being creative also has an equality of cost and expense, no?
Yes.
But how do we really bring this to the board, no?
Ganito yan.
Para sabihin mo sa board na may pag-asa pa. May pag-asa pa, wag muna natin bitawan sila.
Kasi parang we were all taught how to plan. Pag nag-plan ka, your actions are based on causes, effect, etc. And when you come up with decisions, you just don't come up with solutions na one lang. Dapat ABC. Marami kang options. Hindi dapat nag-iisa lang yung options mo because one would apply to another and the other one should apply. Dapat marami kang options na i-offer sa company. For example,
mo yan.
Latag mo yan. Unang-una, ano una dapat gawin? Nung nag-set ng lockdown ang gobyerno, ano ang dapat nating inisip? At most of the companies, and I am sure, put premium on people first principle. When I say people first principle, this is anchored on what you're saying, Barbie, that yung employees natin are the most important, are our wealth in the organization. No? So when we say people first, we have to make sure that while we are trying to survive, while we are trying to regain our footing, while we are trying to exhaust all means to, survive, have revenues to sustain our operations. Let us not forget that the safety, health, and wellness are the most important issues that we have to deal with when it comes to people.
Kaya lang kapatid, yung people first na slogan ang ibig sabihin, yung iba, ang dating sa kanila, people first, pag nag-cut ng expense, unang-una, people first, ang tanggalin.
Alam mo, what most companies did, no, and our experience also, immediately, kakatapos nga lang ng strategic planning namin nun, and we have to immediately huddle and come up with a new business plan, business continuity plan, Code Red. Ibig sabihin, total lockdown. Ang scenario na namin nun, okay, total lockdown. So we have to come up with our business continuity plans. We have to redo what we did for the meantime. Kasi nga, gera ngayon Gera ngayon.
So, Helen, like, kunyari, kagaya, lalo na tayo sa media. Yung others, hindi ganun ka-sensitive. Pero yung media, cannot stop.
Yeah.
So pag sinabi mong lockdown or shutdown, media hindi naman pwede tumigil.
Hindi. So what we did, no, we have to choose who will stay, who will remain at the workplace. Actually, buong AM namin The FM group kasi, you can broadcast kasi by recording in AM. No?
Okay.
You cannot do that in AM. The name of the game is real time.
What you're saying here is that pagka nagkaroon ng crisis na ganyan, tayong mga HR, kailangan meron tayong pinipresent na alternative sa management.
Yes, meron ka na kaagad business continuity plans. Alam mo, that should include like where to house them, how to provide for them. If you need to transport them, you have to provide shuttle service. Medyo expensive no?
Yeah, we're all trying to do this, Ellen. Pero as it is, record shows that as many as about 4 million jobs were lost during the pandemic. What happened?
Alam mo, ako tinitingnan ko dito. Wala kang choice doon kasi if for these businesses, no, iba kasi yung media tayo kasi
in general, kahit ibang industriya.
Ibang industriya. I think the badly hit industry would be tourism.
Tourism is number one, yeah.
And when you say tourism, no, kaya nga ang ating keynote speaker ay no less than the Secretary of the Department of Tourism. Because when you say tourism, dumapa talaga yan.
Annual conference yan.
Yes, yan sa day one natin. Kasi maraming hahagipin yung turismo. Pag sinabi mong turismo, it's not just tourism itself. Hagip dyan ang hotel, ang restaurant, ang transport, airline, shipping, bus lines, ro-ro, lahat yan. So imaginein mo yung lahat.
Bilang kapatid, dadagdag ko lang doon kasi nakausap ko rin yung mga yung Philippine Hotel Owners Association, sila may Mr. Alfred Lopez, Arthur Lopez. Alam mo, pag titignan natin, tama yung sabi mo, transportation, hotel, restaurant, meron pa yan. Yung mga supplier nila, apektado rin.
Correct. Pag sinabi natin industry, lahat yan, yung buong supply chain na yon, Barbie, tatamaan lahat yun.
Okay, so ano kailangan gawin?
Pagka ganun kasi, you have to look into it. Tingnan mo yung unang nagsara na hotel. Malaking hotel yon sa Mindanao. Can you imagine that even one of our winners in the PMAP Awards have to close shop temporarily because continuing the operations will really hurt their organization.
Dito lang sa
Makati. Oo, di ba?
Shangri-La.
Marco Polo. At the onset, nagbawas agad ang airlines, ang PAL. Imaginein mo yun. So anong gagawin mo doon? It would hurt, but you really have to let go of people because if you continue operating na wala namang pumapasok na income sa'yo dahil sarado lahat, ano rin ipapasweldo mo sa mga tao? Diba?
Okay.
So parang continuing the operations
but you want to keep the company alive.
You want to keep the company alive. So parang you never lose hope, you never lose sight that things will go back to normal, 'di ba? Okay. But to sustain the operations, you just have to maintain a very lean and mean organization, one that can survive, one that you will be able to afford and pay them their salaries and benefits. Masakit gawin 'yon.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Alan.
In the midst of this pandemic and yung mga downsizing natin lahat-lahat, sa experience nyo sa PMAP, meron bang company na nag-a-adhere doon sa tinatawag natin na nagsasabing sa recall when everything's okay already and the economy has taken up? On recall, you'll be the first to be considered.
Priority yun.
And that's hope.
There's a difference kasi between layoff, temporary layoff, and a permanent retrenchment, no? Pag sinabi mong temporary layoff, kasi I'm being labor savvy here. Pag sinabi mo kasing temporary layoff, you just pay them and then with the note that once things go back to normal, things have normalized and we're going to be okay, then we recall you, then we rehire you. Meron kasi na nag-shutdown lang for a while, so parang naka-leave of absence lang sila for an indefinite period of time. I'll pay you muna, and then
which makes sense, no? Which makes sense, Ellen, no? Dahil yung mga taong yan trained na.
May equity na yan eh.
Mahirap mag-reopen ng business na ang mga tao mo ay puro bago, di ba? It pays to have them back because their loyalty is with you. But
Helen,
ang tanong dyan, paano kung halimbawa magre-reopen ka na, may trabaho na yung iba? Di well and good. Then that's the time you hire for the other vacancies. Hindi ano yan eh. And then there's the other thing, yung permanent retrenchment, no? You have to pay them all their separation pays already. Lahat yan, inclusion doon yung years of service, at least sa labor code, it says 1/2 month pay per year of service, especially so if the reason given is losses, no, financial losses, you really have to support that. Bayaran mo yan, lahat ng benefits, due date, babayaran mo. So, yon, pag sinabing permanent na yon, ibig sabihin may business closure ka na. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka na mag-reopen.
Go ahead, Alan.
Helen, for our workers, no, and on your perspective, paano ba hinihingi yung return clause, no? Paano ba hinihingi yan? Kasi may mga workers tayo na talaga namang very supportive sa ating mga HR, no? Paano ba namin hihingin yung, ma'am, pwede ba lagyan nyo dyan ng return clause na kami ang guarantee?
Pwede naman yun, kasi
we come out politely.
When you have to let go of people, whether temporary or permanent yan, you have to put that in writing kasi sinasabit niyan sa DOLE. Merong reportorial requirement sa DOLE, no?
Yes.
Any separation of employees are reported. In fact, we're required to report monthly, no? Yung money complement mo for the organization. So when you have to let go of people, you have to document everything. You have to put everything in writing. And you have to do that with a 30 days notice, at least.
Yes. Yung mga technicality, mga ano.
Oo, mga technicality yan. Pero yung sinasabi ni Alan, pwedeng lagay yun. Wala namang sinabi ang DOLE na...
Hindi nyo ba mamasamain yun?
Yun.
We're letting you go for the meantime. Tapos sabi, di bale, pagka mag-improve yung business, we'll hire you back. Sasabihin niya, Ma'am Ellen, pwede bang ilagay nyo yan in writing? Hindi ba makakasama sa kanya yun?
Hindi naman, kasi ganito yan eh. Depende kasi din sa relationship mo with your employees.
Yun, importante siguro.
Importante yan eh. Alam mo, I was once asked by a CEO, what is the formula for maintaining a harmonious work relationship with the employees? What is the formula for maintaining industrial? Ang sagot ko, there is no foolproof formula. It takes it takes a conscious effort for management to be transparent to their employees. Kasi hindi po pwede na magre-retrench ka lang o magsasara na tayo. I think it takes a lot of effort to really gather your people, do a town hall meeting, and explain to them the situation. Kasi kailangan nalalaman nila. Alam mo, eto meron isang organization, ayokong banggitin.
Kailangan sensitive ka doon.
Dapat, alam mo, meron, yung isang airline company, hindi sila agad nag-retrench. They gather their employees, they talk to them and explain the situation. You know what? During discussions kasi, people would give their suggestions. I think you have to listen also to people when they tell you something because they're down there the line. Alam nila kung anong nangyayari. You know what? They volunteered to take a pay cut.
Pay cut,
Yes.
Alam mo, you just don't know.
Galing sa kanila.
Galing sa kanila. Sila mismo nag-volunteer so that everybody retains the post. Na hindi ka agad sila ma-displace kasi nobody was ready during that time. Biruin mo, sabihan ka na, bukas wala na tayong trabaho. Paano mo papakainin yung pamilya mo kung may pamilya ka? Kung meron pang may sakit sa pamilya. Diba?
Ellen, this is a question. Ang mga problema bang hinaharap ng tao at saka ng mga namamahala sa tao, mga people managers, pareho ba sa mga large corporations and the medium, small enterprises?
Ako tingin ko in varying degrees pero may similarities yan. Like for example, yung pagkakaroon lang ng COVID, yung pagkakaroon ng infection, 'di ba? Yung ma-infect ka ng COVID, ma-expose ka. Hindi naman yan nangyayari lang sa maliliit na kumpanya.
Pero the way you deal with it, iba yung you're dealing with 3,000 employees versus 30 employees, di ba?
Yes, magkaiba yun. So, ang approach yun will be in varying degrees, no? Like, for example, ako, at the onset of the lockdown, I have 2 serious cases already. The lockdown was set on March 16. March 18, I have 1 already in ICU. So, parang iikot ang puwet mo doon. Not even the medical practitioners would know what to do. In fact, if we knew back then what we know now, we would have dealt with the COVID-19.
On hindsight.
On hindsight, we would have dealt with it better, di ba? Parang, sa akin lang, pare-pareho yung kaso, in varying degrees, iba-iba lang yung approaches, at saka, eto lang, medyo magastos nga lang, sabi nga ni Alan kanina, kung ikaw nasa malalaking korporasyon, medyo mas mahaba ang PC nun to spend for you, no? Pero kung ang...
pero pati yung malalaking mayayaman na kumpanya,
umaari din yun. Ano ka ba? Ito meron ako i-share. And this was shared by Nielsen. I don't know you guys, sa KDP, merong report nito eh. One consumer brand nung during the last year's pandemic.
Nakikinig kami dyan, number 5 kami dyan.
During last year's yung ating experience last year. Ang daming nag-hoard Ang daming nag-hoard, di ba? Lalo na yung mga RK, yung mga rich kids, mga millennials. Ang daming nag-hoard, yung mayayaman. So malaki yung benta. This year, they took a very huge cut in their media spend.
That's true.
Because wala
advertisers, no? Oo, tama.
See?
Kasi yung mga nag-advertise, wala rin pera.
Wow. Big corporations like San Miguel, may liquor ban. Anong ititinda mo? Paano magko-continue yung production ng beer, 'di ba? Doon sa brewery plant nila, 'di ba? So ano ginawa? They repurposed. They produced alcohol. They continued their operations, but this time they're producing alcohol which they are supplying.
Yung GSM, no? Yung GSM. Pati yung bote ng gin, yung rubbing
parang
alcohol.
itinitinda sa mga yung sa mga tricycle.
Pero magaling, di ba? Ang bilis.
They started to build bridges that separates the unemployed and the employed, di ba?
Aside from yung kikitain, Alan, nakapaglingkod sila sa bayan dahil at that time very in dire need tayo ng alcohol, kulang ang supply.
They were both supplying, they were both selling and donating. I think that's a very noble cause for them to do. Tama si Alan.
Alan, tatanungin ko na lang kay Ellen para para meron tayong mabilis na take away, no? Kunyari, tayo yung mga managers ngayon, and we are in this situation as you described it. And it's not a very rosy picture, very challenging, but maganda dahil may paraan pala. Now, ang challenge natin is how to keep people highly motivated, how to keep people on the run, na talagang laban pa rin. Ano mga tip mabibigay mo sa mga manager para to keep people up on their morale?
When the pandemic set in, people have to be digitally savvy. So parang we have to learn things to do things digitally. Okay, so how do you do that? Even if
si Alan noon hindi marunong mag-TikTok napilitan na mag-TikTok.
Alam mo, nobody was using, and not a lot of people were aware that there's such a thing as Zoom, no? Meet yan, merong Google Meet.
Or alam natin pero
hindi natin ginagamit. In fact, telecommuting was signed into law several years ago. Ako personally, I really didn't believe in that because I honestly believe that in media, I cannot do telecommuting. Diba? Parang, especially in AM.
Yung work from home.
Hindi libre yung work from home. Baka pwede yan sa BPO.
In other words, hindi siya applicable sa lahat.
Pero,
case pa rin.
Dahil kailangan pauwiin mo yung mga empleyado, you cannot allow everybody to be at the workplace. Una, yung issue pa ng transpo, yung issue ng exposure, di ba? You have to take care of them. So, might as well send them home. So, paano sila magtatrabaho? Una, you have to provide computers. You have to provide units that they can use. Either it's laptop, desktop. So, yung mga empleyado namin, for example, pinauwi ko yung mga desktop. Inventaryo lang natin. They just sign an accountability form. Pinauwi namin yung mga desktop. Ngayon, inuwi ko yung mga laptop computers, yung mga desktop na yan. So, wala akong connectivity. Ano gagawin nga? Hindi pwedeng gano'n. So, yung kumpanya provides also for connectivity. It's either we give...
Kailangan well-equipped sila.
Yes.
Kailangan bigyan mo ng kailangan. May tanong dito si John Lloyd. Paano daw kung ikaw yung HR, ikaw yung na-retrench?
Doon ka sa recall.
That's a sad plight. Pero totoo yan marami tayong colleagues in HR na na-displaced.
Meron talaga.
Meron. Alam natin yan, kapatid.
For one thing.
Pero ikaw yung dapat huling aalis. Ikaw yung huling aalis.
Hindi, for one thing na dyan, ang silver lining dyan, hindi mo na po problemahin yung problema nila ngayon.
Bahala ka yung ikaw lamang problema sa problema nyo. Siyempre, hindi. As an HR person, true to form, kung sakasakali at ang kumpanya wala ng choice but to really close shop, you will be the last person to abandon ship. Kasi ikaw lahat
pero,
ang gagawa niyan.
Kasi nasabi ni John Lloyd dito, hindi naman siya nag-resign, siya tinanggal.
May problema yon.
Okay.
May problema yung HR na yan.
Back to what you were discussing. Number one point mo was to provide the proper support.
Yes, logistics.
If you want them to work from home, siguraduhin mo meron silang equipment, meron silang wifi.
Yes. Kasi
na gumagana.
May computer nga, wala namang
Okay.
Siguro lang fortunate kami, like in our organization, we have a digital system called Win Media that, we can work remote from home and continue the operations.
Okay.
So, meron kaming gano'n. But for companies na walang ganon, at least man lang mabigyan nyo ng connectivity yung mga tao or allowance, gadgets, logistics. Pangatlo, bukod doon, I was talking about taking care of people. You have to make sure that they have medicines, they have supplements, they have everything that they will need to, keep themselves protected naman from the virus, no? Kasi we did a lot of information campaign already about NCOV ba tawag dyan nun. Nagka-campaign na kami, naka-plaster na yan all over the place na
Safety first.
Safety first.
Safety first.
Oo. Yes.
And as just like Obet Policarpio, one of our viewers and listeners as well.
He's the past president.
Fan ko yan.
Yes, and I think this is worth saying, no? Always be sincere, honest, and transparent with empathy and malasakit. Have an authentic heart for the people. HR in heart means valuing human relationship under any circumstances. Napakaganda.
Totoo yan. Alam mo, makatayang kaibigan namin na yan. Kapatid namin. Malalim yan eh. Ako kasi practical akong mag-isip eh. Practical lang yung solusyon lagi dito eh. Well, sabi ko nga kanina, wala yan sa libro. They don't go by the book. So parang kailangan mataba ang utak mo kapag you're faced with a very difficult and adverse situation.
Ellen, move fast. You adjusted fast, kaya you employ telecommuting, work from home, other alternatives. But one, sabi mo, provide the proper support.
Yeah.
Second, give your support includes allowances and
food allowances, hazard allowances, especially for the field reporters, no, and drivers.
But in all of this, sabi mo rin, ang priority protection first.
Yes, kasi paano rin aandar yung organisasyon mo kung wala yung mga taong yan, di ba?
Okay, ano pa kaya?
Pang-apat, no? Bukod doon, those who remained at the workplace, we made sure that we have a place where they can take a shower, where they can stay and sleep overnight. Meron silang mga, naging residential unit yung some of our spaces in the office. Kasi, and we have to make sure that there is a provision for food dahil sarado yung mga restaurants. Doon sa side namin, nagsara yung mga restaurants. So, we need
to... Ayaw mo silang labas-pasok.
Syempre, ayaw mo din naman silang na-expose kasi nga you don't even know what this COVID-19 is all about. What kind of an animal is the virus. So,
Especially now, ang lakas
ng Delta variant.
Delta variant.
Grabe yun. Kung yun nga nabakunahan na, like, naka-second dose na i-infect pa.
Alam po siya sa Delta variant. Yan yung dati nagdi-distribute ng Toyota eh. Pero wala na yun.
Delta Motors.
Nasa Bel Air yan.
Alam nyo, eto pa kasi even the government encouraged, the Department of Labor, no less than the DOLE, no, Secretary Bello, encouraged the employers to come up with different schemes. Nagkaroon ng flexible work arrangements, either by skeleton force, shifting, etc. Kami, you know what? Yung management mismo, like I'm a partner of the company, no? We've decided to take a pay cut just so we can continue paying our employee salaries.
Yes.
Parang, instead of us getting 100%, we classified our employees into 50%, 65, 75, and 100%. Definitely, those who are being paid 100% are those in the operation. So we
Yes.
talk about the radio techs, we talk about the announcers, reporters.
That's a very important point, Ellen. You try to ask people to do sacrifices. But it's also important that you lead by example.
Yes.
Hindi pwede,
Alam mo ba, bumalik lang yung sweldo. May bumalik lang ang sweldo ko sa 100% March of this year.
Uy, blowout ka
Just
naman.
to let you know.
Blowout ka naman.
Okay.
Just to let you know. Yeah,
But it's so beautiful to hear words like that, that there is hope inside, internal. But of course, I'd like also to say, because reiterate just what you said, those people who are loyal to the company and have been good to the company, who's established good relationship, yung equity nyo po na iniwan nyo sa company nyo, but when everything is okay, like what Ma'am said, there is a chance for a recall, you know.
Alam nyo, leadership has always been my index of success and failure in the organization.
Everything rises and falls.
What we did was to call everybody. No less than the president even wrote a letter to the employees that we will survive, we will rise above these difficulties. We just have to pull our efforts together. We enjoy everybody's support. Alam mo, pag yung presidente mo lang na nagsasabi ng
ibang klase yun.
At saka kung nakikita ng mga, alam mo ba, we were the last to get to revert to 100%. Let me just share with you, eto ha, if meron kaming character sa FM, may sakit yon. Hindi naman pwedeng pumasok ang utility messenger dahil anong lilinisin mo, wala naman yung operations doon, di ba? Nasa bahay lang siya. But you know what, even the employees who are not working, wala talaga dahil yung nature ng job nila requires being physically present at the workplace. Hindi naman pwede. We're still paying them 50%. You know what I requested from management not to take out the whole duration of this pandemic and up to now. Wag alisin ang medical and hospitalization benefit. We're paying 100% for medical and hospitalization benefit. So even hindi nagtatrabaho, may sakit. Meron nga ako isa. Binayaran namin yung hospital.
Pero valid concern kasi, Ellen, of all these interventions, as long as we can afford it, that's all right.
Yes.
But once the company cannot afford, that's another story. But what I'm picking up from you is that no matter what the circumstance, wag sanang mawawala yung care. Yung sabi ni Past President Obet kanina, yung heart. So whatever, kahit mahirap, kahit kung ano man, masakit man yung gagawin nating hakbang, wag tayo mawawalan nung pagkalinga and to look after our people. Di ba? Tama ba?
Alam mo, I think the spirit of malasakit, never before in the history of the Filipino country, no, na yung malasakit and bayanihan came into fruition talaga.
And it starts with the leadership.
Yes,
diba?
It starts with leadership.
Okay.
I think it will, ito lang it all boils down to your relationship with your people.
I guess it all boils down also as well to the relationship of the HR to the board.
Correct.
Diba? Kasi communication yun eh.
Kasi sabi ko nga, you cannot just be a department. You have to be a strategic partner of the organization.
Okay, with the time we have left, Ellen, marami pa yung aspeto ng people management that we can talk about. Now, there's an annual conference that the People Management Association of the Philippines is coming up with. Tell us about that, and you can invite our fellow people managers. Hindi lang HR managers ang people manager, no?
Yes.
Pati mga CEO,
everybody.
Everybody who
tayo nagre-brand niyan, partner.
Oo nga. Anybody who deals with people, who works with people, are people managers.
Yes.
Ano tong annual conference? Go ahead.
Can I request Carol to share lang yung angat natin? You can see my virtual background. Wala na ba si Carol?
Wala yata dyan.
Wala
na. Go ahead.
Our theme for the 58th annual conference of PMAP is called Angat. Very, very excited ako because we're also celebrating the 65th year of PMAP. as an organization. So 65 years na. Kumbaga ho sa mga magre-retiro, mandatory retirement age po yung PMAP. But we will be here for the longest time and we will continue to do so for as long as there are people to take care of. Angat means, actually po, tinanong ako kahapon, saan nanggaling yung angat? I took inspiration initially kasi from a TV commercial that says, babangon tayo, susulong tayo. So when we sat down in the AC Directorate of PMAP, when we were brainstorming dun sa programs committee, we said na we cannot just be in survival mode. We have to move forward. And since the advocacy of the Board of Trustees for this year is to put PMAP on higher ground, we thought that we have to align with that advocacy and lead people to higher ground. When we say lead people to higher ground, kasi yung PMAP ay hindi lang naman employers. Ito ay binubuo ng mga workers. So we have to lead people to higher ground. At sa pagsulong na yon, when we say we lift, iangat. Kasi parang pag-iahon, parang nasa tubig naman. So iangat natin sila, lumubog. So, iangat natin ang antas nung ating pamumuhay. Huwag tayong makontento.
Saan sila nakalagay?
Oo, kasi last year, ito yung new normal. Pero makukontento ka ba sa new normal? Yung new normal should not be business as usual. But it should be business better than usual. So, kailangan iangat natin yung antas. So, angat means, we also coined the acronym ANGAT, and it means agility in strategy, nobility in purpose, because we're putting the principle of people first at the forefront, and then governance driven. Kailangan ay sumusunod din tayo sa mga patakaran at tayo ay merong global standards na sinusunod so that we are local but we are thinking global, action-oriented, mabilis, swift, and technology-enabled. Use technology at its finest by all means to propel the organization.
Ellen, when is this? When is the annual conference?
This is going to happen sa Wednesday na po, July 28 to 30, 1 p.m. up to 6 p.m. po. But this is the first time in the history of PMAP that we're putting all together the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao summits into one, and then we're going to weave all together into a tapestry leading to a single big national conference.
And this is all going to be virtual, digital. For more information, more details, saan sila pwede pumunta? Nasa Facebook ang PMAP.
You have to register kung gusto po nilang umattend. Go to the PMAP website, www.pmap.org.ph. You can log in. You can look for Caroline Alcances and Kevin Jacinto. May mga login details po tayo doon. Never too late to join kasi really what we want to do, and we're inviting everybody to join this movement. Let's shepherd our people towards higher ground. Dali natin sila doon. Iangat natin.
www.pmap.com.org.ph. Okay. pmap.org.ph. Pwede nyo rin puntahan yung kanilang Facebook page, People Management Association of the Philippines. Maraming salamat, Ellen.
Maraming salamat sa inyo, sa lahat ng televiewers natin, nakikinig, Facebook.
Sige, nandun kami ni Alan.
Maulan po. And I wish everybody a nice weekend. Maulan, stay safe and warm everybody. And
salamat. Okay. Alan, paalam na tayo.
For a sound people management, please join PMAP on its annual convention. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga viewers at mga nakinig, lalong-lalo na po sa aming community leader kay Miss Rosalinda Iwata. Magandang araw po sa inyo. Back to you, Barbie.
Babalikan ko lang to one more time. Annual-conference.pmap.org.ph. Yun ang sabi ni Carol Alcances. Thank you, Carol. Okay. At mga kapatid, sa gitna ng mga problema natin, if you think you are in the darkest spots, don't forget that God loves you. The best way to love Him back is to love yourself. Best way to love yourself, take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and intellectually. And then, learn to love your neighbor as thyself. Ako po si Barbie Atienza at kasama si Alan Visitasyon. Hanggang sa muli, Sabado, alas 11 ng umaga, dito rin po sa same station. Susunod na po si Marlene Crag at ang RPM, Revolution per Minute. Stay safe, stay well, God loves you. We'll see you again. Bye!